carry it. He could have literally had that packed, put it on his shoulders, and walked that bag to the car. By himself. By himself. And in all fairness, so could Katie. So could Katie. Group, and you're right, but it's a private group that all of us creators have promoted and brought people to. And I have been in there as a daily user and a daily commentator, and I got absolutely done with the BS that's going on with these attacks coming from one specific party, one specific group of people. They're associated with JLR, they're associated with Magnolia, and they're attacking Seth's family, which everybody knows has literally the lowest probability of having any culpability in this disappearance. And I don't know when it's become okay to attack family members that literally had nothing to do with the crime. I have never in my life seen such bullshit before. And while everybody's trying to say they want to come together and they care about this case, anybody that has a problem with correcting the BS, they get booted. And this is a huge problem, and you guys should not be standing around. And I'm going to ask my creator friends that are on this platform that also support this page, that this is unacceptable. This is absolutely unacceptable. Are you here to advocate for a boy or have a pissing contest with people? Because the last time I checked, all the information needs to be shared with everybody, but it seems like this one group of people that isn't getting the attention that they feel that they deserve, they are shitting on every single person out of spite. Of one mom with the other mom, and it's heartbreaking. And then as the pressure starts mounting against the stepfather and the mother, they kick rocks. They pack up all their stuff and leave. Won't help with any kind of search efforts, won't post any flyers. I hear his mom and dad are wanting any information to come to them, but they're not out there helping search for him. You know, I can't. And you know, I know a mom's love for their son, but I'm sorry. If your son, if you know your son, you know this man better than anybody, lady. And if he's capable of hurting this boy, you need to come forward. Because otherwise, you got blood on your hands too, lady. You got blood on your hands too. Proudfoot seems like this guy right here. You know what? The reason why sometimes I think people get the way they get is because parents enable them their entire life. Every time they get in trouble, they're always there bailing them out. Sometimes you need to let your children just deal and reap the rewards of their own consequences for them to be a better person in the long run. And for whatever reason, I feel like his mother has given him a free pass and coddled him so much so that this is the kind of guy he's turned out to be. And she probably thinks that he's the best thing since sliced bread because it's her baby, right? Well, this boy right here, his father's worried sick about him. And while you get to coddle your boy, which probably did something to his boy, and meanwhile, where is your son? Like, I would like to know where is Christopher and Katie Proudfoot? Does anybody know? If you know or you get anything, I am on every social media platform. You can always send me anything to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. That's bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If you have any information related to the Proudfoots, related to Sebastian, please reach out to me immediately. I love you guys. You take care. I still am reeling from the fact that this bitch here left her son. God bless.
And thinking that this is funny, putting an innocent person's life in danger is some type of comedy or whatever. I think it's and they're laughing. I think it's disgusting. I hope it happens. Like, at this point, I don't care if it gives me a bad juju or bad vibe or it makes me look bad, but I hope everything that they're giving me, I hope their children. I don't want them to go through it. I want somebody that they love to go through it. I absolutely hope that somebody that they love go through exactly what I'm going through. And maybe when they sit there and watch somebody else struggle with it, maybe they will realize how detrimental their actions were. But I don't even wish it upon them. I wish it upon the people they love. That's what I wish. And pray for it. I'm going to actually pray for that. And people may say that's sacrilegious. I'm an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. God knows that. My preacher knows that. My church knows that. My people know that. And I pray to God that they get everything. And I don't want it to them. I want it to somebody they love. I want their children, their grandchildren. That's where I want it to happen. That's where I want it to happen. And when they see that, they can hear me resonating in the back of their ear because they watch this show. And all I'm going to simply say is that's karma. That is absolutely karma. And you deserve every bit of it. And it's such a shame that you allowed that to happen to your child because you wanted to do that to somebody else. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Well, you know, maybe their children will get bullied and they can see what they've done. You know, I don't know. And they can drag this. I don't really care. Put me on every single hate channel. Oh my God, she wants bad things to happen to children. Hey, you know what? You guys are raising them. Not me. You're raising them. And you're raising them to show them hate and I really don't care. I don't care. You know, to each their own. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. I hope that what they're doing to me happens to somebody that they love. I said I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Yeah, I do. I do now. I do now.
I mean, you know, maybe they thought that this wasn't going to get this big, that this was just an autistic. I mean, think about their mentality. This whole family thought this child was disposable. They did, you know, you talk, somebody's talking to them to describe the behaviors of Sebastian, and even the in-laws are describing him, well, you know, his attention span's about as, you know, about as much as however many squirrels are in the room. High functioning autistic, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he's smart but you guys have to understand he still has limitations. I don't care about any armchair detective out there. I don't care. I don't care about your opinion when you go and attack other officers and go and stalk other people. Many people say that Bullhorn Betty, me, has done that. I have not. Nor will I ever. Nor do I condone anybody conducting themselves in that manner. Ever. Whenever I conduct myself on private property. I do things above board and above law. I don't follow people.
You guys see how evil these hate channels are, these criminal channels that help criminals? Every time you guys go watch their garbage, you're supporting them wasting law enforcement resources. Because let me tell you, it doesn't really matter. I'm Bullhorn Betty, okay? If I want to go and get a ticket, hell, I'll even go to this clink for some stupid bullshit when it comes to advocating for children. I will literally freaking chain myself to a post and have them cut the chains off me and drag my ass to jail and be processed within 24 hours if I so need to. I'm an advocate and an activist and covered by media when I cover these cases. The Constitution is where I've derived my law. Hate channels. Calling law enforcement on Bullhorn Betty for posting flyers. I want that to sink into everybody. I want you guys to pass this around. I want you guys to tell them how disgusting and nasty and horrible and evil they are. You know who is causing all the threats in this community for people searching? Chris and Katie Proudfoots and their cohorts. That, my friend, is who is threatening the people of this community that come in. They threatened me. They threatened me. Oh, Terry Bowersocks. Oh, you wanna come around here? Oh, look at who it is. It's Terry Bowersocks. Look who just pulled up. In the same QX80. Coming out taking my tag plate. Let's turn around on his tag plate. Terry Bowersocks. Terry Bowersocks right there. Came up and decided to take my plate on. So you want to know who's harassing who out here? The proof is in the pudding. The Bowersocks and the Proudfoots are the ones coming and harassing people. That right there, my friend, is Terry Bowersocks. Came by and took a picture. Why are you taking my license plate?
Why are you filming me?
Because you came by for me, Mr. Bowersocks.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm in a public place. Why are you harassing me and following me? Why are you harassing me and following me when I'm conducting business?
How can I be following you?
You just were in the plaza. You've been following me, sir. You guys have been harassing me and threatening me for 2 days.
Prove it.
I am. Right here, sir. Right here, sir. Prove it? Yeah, I did just prove it, asshole. Better go through that fucking light. Fuck with me. I don't need violence. I'll capture you on Because let's face it, if they did nothing wrong, they did nothing wrong to their child, and they have a father that's willing, able, and wanting to work with them to bring their child home, and they run off, and they keep running off, and then you're finally, hey, let's just kind of bring it back here. Let's, we got a son missing over here. Is there anything that we can do? Can we work together here? Let's get some dogs out there and track the dogs. They keep thinking, this is the problem I have with the Proudfoots. They keep thinking every single thing is a direct result to them because they got a freaking guilty ass mind. That's why. Because normal people allow dogs to come on their property. Here's why. Where is everybody, right? Let's talk like the idiot, Chris Proudfoot, right? Let's talk like him. Let's be the R-tard that he used to talk about Sebastian being, right? Let's talk about how much of an R-tard Chris Proudfoot is. I've given you an opportunity. We do not bash innocent people here. If you want to talk about the case, you want to talk about information of the case, that's fine. This man had to fight to get the CPS records. This man had to deal with all of this. This man has been out in that field. I will not, until you come here and tell me and prove to me that Chris and Katie had no part in this, in his disappearance. I don't want to hear any more about Seth Rogers on my channel. We talk about cases and bad guys. If anybody has a personality conflict, this is not the place to air it. I've got a lot of personality conflicts. I've got a lot of dirty laundry I could air. I'm choosing to stay on this case. So if you guys would like to learn about this case, this is what we're going to do. This child right here was left in these people's home and disappeared. There is no evidence the boy walked out of the home. These are my primary focus until they can satisfy my mind. This is where this channel's focus is going to be, and any information to locate this boy right here. Chris honestly thought that everybody looked at this child the way he looked at this child. I think Chris honestly believed that we, as a community, wouldn't even give this kid the time of the day because he was different than the rest of us, that he had been, abused as a young kid, and somehow we were going to look bad upon a victim of a crime when they were a child. Like, this is the sick way that Chris thinks, that because this child was abused in that way, which, let's face it, many of us that are here, that are activists and advocates, have been assaulted in a very unpleasant way, such as that. And for many of us to turn around and blame this child for something that we had to endure, that we had to go through ourselves, and we've got, a normal functioning body and a normal functioning brain, and how completely horrible that experience was, and how it changed out the direction of our personal lives. And then we find out this happened to a child that didn't understand what was going on with him, that didn't understand the true gravity of what took place to his poor little body, and that we were going to come here and somehow punish this boy because of it. That's what his family and his friends, or his family, the Proudfoot side of the family, honestly believed. We are not them. This child means a lot to us. If he didn't mean the world to them, well, he definitely means the world to us. And our memories, our minds are a million miles long. And we will never forget. We will never forget. I don't like Chris Proudfoot. I don't like Chris Proudfoot not because he's got a missing child. I don't like Chris Proudfoot because he hurts children and he hurts women. He's abusive. He's abusive in his words. He's abusive mentally. He's abusive physically. I don't like Chris Proudfoot. Katie Proudfoot is a disgusting individual because she stood around and allowed this to happen. I truly believe that woman knows what happened.
Then the same stuff they're giving him. If they can give it, they should be able to take it, right? That's my philosophy. And for all the people that watch them do this, give them the same crap back that they give him. I'm sorry. I usually don't say that, but I'm tired. I'm tired. If they can do it, they can take it. I'm tired. If they can do it, they can take it. I've always said, take the high road. Take the high road. We don't engage. They're not worth the time. Pepper 'em. I don't care. Pepper 'em. I really don't care. We'll go back to the way it was after they're done with their shenanigans. End of the day, we rock. We go out and do some great work. We are all over this country while they're sitting there still hating on me 2 years later. Like, they still have not moved the needle one bit, but they're sitting here pointing the finger at me saying, what have you done? Well, I've done a lot. What am I doing? An awful lot. And that's why you hate me so much, because you could never keep up with Bullhorn Betty. You can't. Tell me which other person is doing all this. I've got a great true crime channel. I'm advocating literally for children. These creators are lying to you. There's creators that are literally going away, little channels that are just disappearing because we are taking them to court. We're done. And she will be next. We are working on the bigger channels, but I'm going to take every single, you guys don't understand. I have said I've had enough. They keep playing with me. And trust me, by the time we're said and done with it, they're going to be on the losing end of this. But they're going to keep trying to convince their people everything they're doing is lawful and legal, and they're not going to be held responsible. Well, it's funny because you know what? We're holding people responsible for their actions. When you guys are done playing, you guys can come here. I am a very strategic woman. Everything I do for strategic purposes.
I'm not going to be a victim of this criminal enterprise of the Proudfoots and Bowersocks. Clearly, both parties don't mind lying under oath. They don't mind lying to authority. They don't mind lying to courts. I'm watching the Lore Lodge, and the Lore Lodge is basically, going through everything and summarizing this particular case, and it's hitting all of the marks that we've hit. Take Wi-Fi off phone. The Wi-Fi is off. It won't let me connect for some reason. So I know that there's probably a crappy service or, not coming in very clear, but there's not a whole lot I can do. Either way, I'm not going to be on here very long anyways. I'll be on here whenever I get to where I'm going. But long story short is we have, people that are missing a child that have spent more time worrying about me than they have worried about their missing child. And I think that's noted not only across social media, but noted across, mainstream media. Everybody is noticing their lack of caring for Sebastian and more concerned about them and their reputation, to the point that they're willing to lie under oath. I haven't even been in the community in over 30 days. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can't even remember what date. I'll have to go back through the calendar and find out what dates I was there. But I've only been to the Hendersonville area one time, and I was only in their area for only 2 days ever in my life. So, this idea that they're not lying under oath, that they're not utilizing these court systems, it's a little weird. But, we do have a hurricane or tropical depression. It's going to make it difficult for me to get home. So I figured I would just change plans and cover another case and go that route, since we have horrible weather and hurricanes hitting Florida, but I'm not going to be a victim of this criminal enterprise or their criminal activity at all. They can deal with the courts themselves. They can deal with all the stuff themselves. What they did was dirty. And I honestly believe that the courts are going to see what they're up to. And again, they've got to still deal with legal scrutiny of their allegations, and they cannot meet the threshold or the burden of that legal scrutiny because they're lying. And I think that the courts are going to be very skeptical of anything that they produce. So it's a little disgusting that they are willing to publicly look this. I mean, they already look horrible as is, but to publicly intentionally make themselves look even more guilty than they were. They're exuding problematic behavior. They're exuding red flags. Every one of them have lied. Every one of them have lied to us. Every one of them have lied in a court. We definitely have record of that they have lied in the courts. You're about to rock with Bullhorn Betty, okay? And you're going to have to deal with your own just desserts, and you're going to have to deal with your own shenanigans. So, God bless all of you, but I have a funny feeling every last one of you guys are going straight to hell. And that's rightfully where you all need to be. Your terror and destruction on the Hendersonville community is going to end. Some people like me that are very strong-headed, you know, rocking a boat like that just gets yourselves in trouble. Just saying. Just saying. I think that they just proved to law enforcement they are willing to lie to them as well as the court and cannot be trusted, which I doubt they trust anything coming out of their mouth anyways. I don't think anybody in that community is going to give them the time of day. Honestly, I don't think the courts are going to give them the time of day. I don't think the courts are even going to engage in this shenanigans. I think they're going to be very skeptical of just about everything. It makes me mad. Last night I saw the video from the news about you, made me sick and stressed. Don't stress out, River. I'm not stressed.
A missing teen's mother claims she's being stalked and falsely accused by a YouTuber. So now she's taking legal action. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller. 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers disappeared 5 months ago from his family's home in Hendersonville. The teen's mother has been granted a temporary order of protection against a Florida YouTuber by the name of Bullhorn Betty. Well, tonight, News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry sat down and spoke with the influencer.
Sebastian Rogers has not been seen since February 25th. Since then, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, along with several other agencies, searched for a little over a week before officials said they were scaling back to focus their efforts on the investigative side. YouTubers and TikTokers nationwide have covered nearly every step, but now Sebastian's mom, Katie Proudfoot, indicates it's gone too far. In a legal filing for an order of protection, Katie says Andrea Griffin, also known by her YouTube name of Bullhorn Betty, accused the family of harming their son while, quote, inciting the public and her followers to aid her in stalking. Katie calls the YouTuber, quote, dangerous. Andrea tells me she has not received the temporary order of protection, but claims she has not done anything illegal.
If it is from her, then that's absolutely a falsehood. They can go and look at all my lives. My lives never come down off my channel. Driving on a public property, on public road with a camera hanging out, there's nothing unlawful about that. That happened over a month ago. It was when it's the only time I've been in the Hendersonville area. The questions of this case are becoming more and more.
Andrea says her main goal is to provide informational content to the public and to help find Sebastian. She tells me these accusations are just a distraction.
I don't like the drama on the channel, and the more I resist the drama and keep it focused about Sebastian, the more these distractions keep coming up. This is all about Sebastian Rogers, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. It's not about Seth Rogers. It's not about Katie Proudfoot. It's not about Christopher Proudfoot. It's about where is Sebastian Rogers and how can we bring him home.
A court-ordered hearing is set for August 8th at the Sumner County Courthouse. Each of Bullhorn Betty's YouTube videos will be summarized for the DA's office. Until that time, a temporary restraining order says Andrea cannot stalk or come within 100 feet of Katie or her home. In Nashville, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
I mean, think about it. They're literally committing criminal, they're literally committing a misdemeanor for the whole world to see. That's not honorable. I thought they were military. I thought they were supposed to follow the law. You know, clearly this entire family doesn't mind breaking the law ever. And the problem is the reason why they keep breaking it is because they are never made to be held accountable for their willful violation of the law, manipulation, lying under oath, all misdemeanors. And then if they're proffering bunk evidence, I think that might even rise to a Class D felony. I tell you what, there's some twisted individuals. They are some twisted individuals. That entire twisted family, like I'm still going through the Lore Lodge and hearing all the stuff about Nina, and it just shows you how evil even Kathy and Terry Bowersocks are. And this is the kind of man that is the one saying he's in fear for his life over me. Well, I'm going to wait until I get the paperwork served on me through proper service as the courts require. And once I get that, I will address it when I can get it. But, you know, with this storm and everything going on, it's even delayed me even further. So, you know, kind of sucks. I'll deal with everything on Monday. Man, afraid of you. He's not very proud, is he? They don't care. They just think that they own that whole entire community. But the bottom line is their child's missing and nobody believes their story. So I doubt the judge is giving them any time of day. They know damn well those people aren't being harassed. And as a matter of fact, if they were, they would deal with it. But to think about it, they've never had any calls against me. All of a sudden, just boom, 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 I become a threat to their life. I truly believe they unalived that child, and I truly believe all four of them are involved in the cover up of it. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it, and they can't stop it. Not on here, not there, nowhere. They put themselves in this position, not me. And they continue to stay in this position, not me. And they're right now just in the mode of, oh crap, we need to stop Betty. Well, unfortunately, you can't stop somebody that isn't breaking laws. And that's the problem that they're up against, is that I'm following the laws and able to get that, and they cannot stand it, and they've got to try to break the law to try to convince a judge that I'm breaking the law, which I'm not. Judges deal with all of this all the time. They deal with liars all the time. They probably are well aware of what's going on in this case. It sounds like there is some type of state attorney investigating and looking into it, and I can guarantee I've never broken the law. I've never made a threat to anybody's life. Good gracious. If I was going to threaten somebody's life, it would have been a significant other, not some idiots that can't seem to locate their own child in a locked house, that has lights going on inside their house, weird things, a body, peering out the window, trying to see who'd seen what, and then lights proceeding to an unmarked vehicle, and one light going back to the house where Katie just magically woke up all alone that morning. So their story is BS. In my opinion, the shadow is that of, and I'm more convinced than ever, when I saw Terry Bowersox in the flesh, when he stalked me and came up behind me and took the picture of my plate to let me know he was there, when he did that intimidating action, right?
A picture. A picture. Why are you taking my license plate?
Why are you filming me?
Because you came by me, Mr. Bowersox.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm in a public place. Why are you harassing me and following me?
Why
are you harassing me and following me when I'm conducting business?
How can I be following you?
You just were in the plaza. You've been following me, sir. You guys have been harassing me and threatening me for 2 days.
And then Kathy comes out and tries to lie yet again and says she never made it to Katie's until 10:30, after 10:30 that morning that Sebastian went missing. Yet everybody in the neighborhood saw her standing out in the front yard at 8 o'clock in the morning. These people don't mind lying. They don't mind breaking the law. And it's not even utilizing the law they're literally lying under oath. They're fully, willfully, and maliciously violating the law. Good luck, Proudfoots and Bowersox, but I will be at the Gathering of Voices on August 26, 2024, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Never look for Sebastian. They have never once looked for that boy. They have never once looked for that boy. All they have done is acted like they looked. They acted like they wanted some help. But every person that has reached out to them to help, who is helping Chris and Katie? Who? Nobody. Nobody's out there. So they want people posting flyers and please don't forget a boy and please keep talking about him. They're not even talking about him. They just want him to go away. They never want to hear his name again. They just want this whole situation. They just want this boy's life not to matter to anybody because it didn't matter to them. You don't see them fighting for this boy. You don't see that mother breaking down. All you see her doing is giving another woman's perfect child hugs and kisses with big smiles on her face and going out to nice dinners and running away from home and going shopping for motorcycles and stuff. That's more important to them than a human life. And they wonder why people like me exist, because we get sick of people like them. Trust me, the sheriffs, the FBI, and TBI know me. They have absolutely done an investigative background on me for the various cases, especially the FBI. The FBI has done its due diligence on my background for many, many years. You know, long before I even got in here. I mean, I had level 2 FBI background checks performed on me multiple times. And then when I got into this, I know during Gabby Petito, they did background searches on me as well as Jonathan. So I know that when we were out in another area, you know, the law enforcement said that they were well aware of us, you know, because of the FBI. So this idea that the FBI doesn't know who I am, that law enforcement, big law enforcement, don't know what my MO is and what I do. And one thing that they know is I follow the law. I follow the law explicitly. I know the sheriff in my own county. I've got sheriffs all over this country that I'm friends with. So I have a good understanding of what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. You know, the courts are required to have me serve. Excuse me, the Bower Sox and the Proudfoots are required to have me lawfully served. They have failed to do so. And that's something that they're going to have to produce in court and justify why they need a protective order. They have to justify that. They have not done that. They filed an affidavit filled with lies. Well, when they have to go before the court, they have to actually proffer proof of those lies. And there is nothing that they've got on me that could ever rise to the level of them being in fear for their life, especially since I haven't even been into the community except for 2 days over a month ago and never have spoken to them ever. And the one communications that I do have with Terry are recorded on a live stream. So, and he was clearly following me. I've got nothing to worry about. So anybody that's out here trying to peddle, they're peddling it for clicks and views. This is a stunt from them and their criminal YouTubers on this platform that are felons that actually help other criminals get away with their crimes. You see Chris and Katie gravitate to those channels that help criminals. That's all that needs to be done. They help criminals. So I don't know what to say. They are criminals, and they just proved it with all of this. They don't mind breaking the law. They don't mind lying. That's enough for me. And it's now recorded on public record. So that was stupid. Again, these people are not very, very smart. And they're allowing felons to guide them through a legal process, which is stupid. So they just look like an idiot, and they just probably moved the case for the police a little bit further because now the police actually have something significant that they can look at and say they lied here under oath. Are they willing to lie to me? Absolutely. If they're willing to do this to me, what are they willing to do to save their own hide? And I tell you, his parents better be very, very fortunate that those kids did not turn on him. Otherwise, one of the victims would have been only 12 years old. And instead, he is now an assailant. He has committed an atrocious crime. He has taken a life. And while our laws here in Florida don't allow us to take his life, I still think he should be facing a capital murder and the death penalty. It's not the law enforcement. It's our judicial system. It's our judicial process. It's the bleeding hearts wanting to save children. Some children are not worth saving, and I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. Just like some dogs. Some dogs are too vicious that they have to be euthanized. And we have to take into consideration because we consider dogs animals. Human beings are animals too. We're just a different species of animals. We're all mammals. We are all this, even dogs. They have hair, they breathe oxygen, they give live birth. We are mammals. We are animals.
Thank you, Stacey.
And some of us are too vicious to live amongst the rest of us. And we need to euthanize them like we do the vicious dogs.